Hello, everyone, and welcome to the SourceForge Podcast. Thank you for joining us today. I'm your host, Bo Hamilton, Senior Editor and Multimedia Producer here at SourceForge, the world's most visited software comparison site where B2B software buyers compare and find business software solutions. Imagine turning every search on your website into a conversion opportunity. That's exactly what AddSearch delivers. At its core, the company helps websites improve their search bar so visitors can find what they're looking for quickly and easily. Think of it like Google, but sort of just for your website. Founded in Helsinki, the SaaS company provides site search for more than 1,800 websites from all over the world and plugs seamlessly into platforms like WordPress and Shopify to deliver ultra-relevant, lightning-fast results. Joining us to talk more about the company and how they're making search smarter is CEO of AddSearch, Helena Rabane. Helena, welcome to the podcast. Glad you can join us.
Thank you. Happy to be here.
All right, well, let's get right into it. I would love for you to give us your overview of AddSearch and talk about some of the solutions your company offers.
Yeah, sure. Well, in a nutshell, as you actually really well introduced AddSearch already, AddSearch is a search and discovery platform for large websites and e-commerce. And essentially, we have kind of three parts of the platform. So the first one is really the search solution itself. And for end customer, it might look like a search box on a website. Usually it's at the top right corner or at the top of the website, where they type in a few keywords and then get search results as a result of that. For the website owners, it's actually a really robust set of tools at the background where they can tweak their search results and make it really look and feel so that it provides a great search experience and website experience for their end users. So that's the kind of the main product that we have. And additionally to that, we have a couple of additions to the platform. So the newest addition is our AI Answers, which is essentially it provides an answer to your question. So instead of keywords, you can ask a question to the search box. And instead of a long set of search results, you would get a direct answer. And with that, you even increase the speed of results to the end user, which is really great and increases the engagement of the website users. And the third part is also recommendation engine. So we also provide a recommendation blocks for the website. So for example, you can have similar products on your product page or most popular content on your media pages. So essentially, it even increases the engagement of the users or helps you to sell more products as a result of that. So yeah, the search and the AI answers and recommendations all make the search and recommendation and discovery platform that we have at AddSearch.
That's great. Awesome. Yeah. Thanks for kind of laying that foundation for us. I think it's important we get a good, understanding of what it is your company is all about right in the beginning before we get into some of the specifics and the nitty gritty details, Now, one feature you mentioned artificial intelligence, and that's a feature that it seems like every company in the digital space is trying to incorporate in some way, shape, or form. Whether it's even relevant or not, it seems like you have to sort of incorporate AI into your company to at least capitalize on that buzzword. That being said, you mentioned AddSearch. AddSearch just seems like a company that would actually benefit from AI more than most, since you're really all about helping customers find the most relevant information when they search for stuff. So I guess my question is, how important is AI to your search solution, and how does it help your customers in improving the search experience?
Yeah, I think it's very important. And I think that it's important from two different perspectives. So one is that we use AI and machine learning a lot in our product itself, and it helps our customers to actually tweak the search results for their end users. So for example, we have AI synonyms. So people use different keywords when they search for something on websites, and it would be impossible to know all the possible variations that they might be using. And so website owners usually don't have all those keywords on their websites and the website content. So AI actually detects the possible synonyms based on the context of the website and the kind of what kind of words that the users are using, and adding those to the index. And with that, helping the website owners to really make their search experience much better. That's an example of how AI is used at the background to make it much easier for the website owners to provide a very seamless search experience. But at the same time, search is going through a lot of changes at the moment. And, ChatGPT changed the way we search online nowadays. And a lot of people don't expect that they don't only type in keywords, but they can also ask questions. And of course, then there's an AI that needs to answer these questions. And AI is really changing the way we interact with search engines and what we expect that the search engines do for us. So that's kind of from the end user point of view, the way how AI is really changing search and our experiences.
Yeah, no, it's really fascinating to watch and see how this all shakes up. I think Google in particular has the most competition it's probably ever seen with all these different AI sort of chatbots come up. ChatGPT, of course, is the big one, big elephant in the room. That just leads me to a quick follow-up question that I just thought of. Is are you working on creating solutions for some of these chatbots as well? Whether that's chatbots incorporated into specific organizations' websites. How are you kind of addressing this sort of new AI boom?
Yeah. So AI Answers is currently the newest addition to our product that we offer to our customers. And currently, it's not providing a conversation yet. It provides a direct answer to a direct question. But the next step there is definitely a full conversation that you can have on your website. And this is something that we're going to launch actually next. So this is very exciting because I think that conversations are something that everyone is looking for instead of just having search results. And it also changes the way how you engage your website users on your website. So, for example, when you're on the product page and you really want to learn more about, let's say, the sneakers that you're looking there, you might want to understand more about the sneakers, and then it would be helpful that you have an assistant there to help you to kind of figure out all these details that you're interested in. So I think that this is the way people are expecting that the search and discovery will work in the future. And this is definitely the direction also that AddSearch is going for.
Nice. Yeah, that's exciting. Yeah, it's good that you're staying on top of the latest trends. And I know we're kind of getting ahead of ourselves there, but it's fascinating to see where this is all going, and glad that you're, again, staying on top of it and working on these solutions so you don't get kind of left in the lurch. I'm curious about your clientele, so to speak. Are there any specific industries or types of websites that tend to get the most value from AddSearch? And not to put you on the spot or anything, but if you have any real world examples or maybe a success story that comes to mind, I'd love to hear that as well.
Yeah, sure. We have actually tens of different industries represented in our customer base. And they come from, for example, banking and financial institutions. There are universities, cities and municipalities, B2B machinery. So they're very different. But I guess the common thing there is that they all have large websites. They have a lot of content. And the user base is very demanding. So they have users that are really searching for something. They really need to find specific content from their website. And then secondly, also we have e-commerce customers, which is growing for us. We have Shopify apps, so we are especially growing there. From specific customers, we have, can't name drop specifically, but we have quite many central banks in Europe And I think that's really interesting because I think that it shows that, and also like other very traditional businesses and industries, I think it shows that they are really wanting to provide a great search experience for their customers. The customer base is very wide, and they need to think about like how can we provide this great experience from people from any age, any background, and you still need to have this great experience on the website.
Yeah, when I was thinking of different brands and use cases for your product, my mind just went to a lot of the e-commerce platforms and websites. But yeah, as you just explained it, you really don't discriminate against different industries or websites. I mean, there's a wide range that you work with. So that's pretty neat to hear about. Another thing I was like looking through and trying to get examples of brands you work with and really just trying to get a good understanding of your company. I just started thinking about user experience and how important that is for people. Maybe you could talk about how can a site search solution like AddSearch improve things like visitor engagement and satisfaction, specifically in regards to user experience?
Yeah, I mean, search is very important in improving user experience, and because it's a very like well-known fact that when users use search, then they usually also convert better. And this is because when they come on the website, they have a certain goal in their mind. They are searching for certain product, or they are looking for certain information. And what happens is that if the user experience is bad, they can't find what they're looking for. They leave the website. They usually go to Google or something else, and then they search there. They find something different, probably some competitor, and then they go there. So creating this good user experience is very important. And how this user experience is created is making sure that there's a great UI, because the UI needs to feel seamless so that you go on the website. I think the best experience is that you don't even think about searching, but you just remember that, I found it. And then you're happy, and you don't even think that, well, I had to, use a search bar. So I think that this kind of seamless experience is what we are really striving for. And in some cases, of course, the purpose of the search is to engage the customer or the user. If they, for example, want to make some research about topic, they want to go through a lot of media files and make sure that the right content is at the top, so they can easily go them through. Or sometimes when you're looking for, let's say, the perfect pair of sneakers, you really want to go through many of them and compare them. So you want to make sure that the user experience is great, that the UI is built really well, and that as well, if you have hundreds of sneakers there, that you really have opportunity to navigate in the search experience, put the filters there, and then find eventually the perfect pair of sneakers that you're looking for. So I'd say that search is super important for user experience. And on some websites, and especially in e-commerce, it might be the most of the time users spend their time on the search result page itself, because they are just using the different filters, going through the search results, and they want to find and explore the products or the content that there is. So how it works exactly has a huge impact, and of course to the bottom line of the e-commerce or the website that they're visiting.
Right. Yeah. UI is interesting because I feel like you're never going to please everyone. And I know in a lot of ways it's an art that has to balance design and functionality. And when a site leans too heavily into maybe the design aspect and hides or removes functionality, it sort of starts to alienate users who now have to like relearn where everything is and jump through more hoops and whatnot. But I think I'm glad that you place a strong emphasis on making sure the UI, not only looks good, but is functional as well. I think that's, again, really important, because we know user experience and intuitive design are vital for search adoption. That's established. I'm curious, what guiding principles would you say really shape how AddSearch's solutions are crafted? Because again, you have to please both site visitors and administrators as well, right?
Yeah, of course. And we have to take both into account. So if we get to more like technical details, then of course, accessibility guidelines are something that we are following strictly because there are laws and regulations about that. So obviously that's very important. And I think that they also give basis for the very like basics of how you use websites overall. So it's not only about search or only about like that you have to do it because of the accessibility guidelines, but because they are really standard kind of design principles as well, like how where you place your search, how you have the buttons designed and so forth. So these are really important. And of course, we also conduct customer or user interviews regularly to kind of get the feedback of how search is being used, what is possibly missing, what needs to be added, or like where the potential challenges might be. And then we also have an implementation manager who helps our customers to actually make the implementation and the design itself. So they make sure that it's not only kind of meeting the standards, but it's also fitting the website design and the whole user experience really well. So we want to make sure that the search it doesn't feel like that it's a kind of standalone part of the website, but it fits that whole user experience, and with that you get a good experience that you can really win customers with.
Yeah, that's good that you're having those constant conversations about what's working, what's not, and you're able to make those changes. Because that leads me to my next question, and it's talking about integration, because how well your platform integrates with other tools already available and being used in the marketplace is really important, and ultimately improves satisfaction amongst administrators as well as end result users and end users. How does AddSearch's approach to integrate? Let me rephrase that. How does AddSearch approach integrating its search solutions with other systems?
Yeah, that's a great question because AddSearch is actually a CMS agnostic. So we don't have to have apps on different platforms. And we have websites that are very, very different platforms, also some very legacy ones that think that maybe they have some challenges, but they work really well with AddSearch. And then we have thought about like, do we need to be present on some certain platforms? And we've decided to have an app on WordPress and on Shopify, which makes the integration even smoother on those specific platforms and where we have also more customers. So basically, yeah, we work with any platform, but these are the ones that we have direct connection with. But then aside from the CMSs, maybe one of the connections that is very important for our customers is also analytics. We provide a very extensive search analytics on our dashboard, which gives, opportunity to see like what kind of search terms are looked for, maybe what kind of search terms didn't yield any results. So it kind of gives really good information about what kind of information might be missing on the website. But then many of our customers also want to combine this information with the rest of the website's analytics. And for that, they can connect it, for example, with Analytics or Google Analytics or Adobe or any other analytics tools. So then they can combine the search analytics with the rest of the website's analytics. And I think that's very useful as well.
Yeah, that sounds useful. I know. So the analytics and then integrating with other services, namely Shopify and WordPress. It really sounds like you're helping set up customers for success in the future. Now, as organizations grow and their search needs expand and change, how would you say you offer the flexibility and scalability to accommodate that growth?
Yeah, that's a great question because like many of our customers actually grow and face the challenge that like how do their different services accommodate that. And we make sure that we have like kind of alerts in place. So we always make sure that when we see that a customer is growing, their content is growing, their searches are growing, then we are able to ping them and make sure that their search is working well also when they grow. And usually what happens is that when a website gets more content, then it makes sense for them also to have a bit more robust tools to manage the search results. Because there's a huge difference if you have 1,000 pages or you have 500,000 pages. And like, because you want that your users find what they're looking for in a millisecond, and regardless of how many pages you have. So we make sure that this happens, and we have customers in very, very different sizes, and then can kind of scale with them.
Well, it's neat to hear all the different solutions and tools you have, again, to help customers sort of be set up for success, because I know that there's no shortage of competitors out there that customers are weighing, each with their own pros and cons. From a customer's standpoint, when evaluating website search solutions, what are some of the essential factors you would recommend organizations sort of prioritize in order to find the best fit? And I know you mentioned some of them already, but I'm curious, like, if there's an order that they should maybe follow.
Well, I don't know if there is a definite order, but of course, like there is the features and functionality that you need to make sure that that the vendor has and that they can meet your needs. And maybe additionally to that, making sure that the search provider is also going to the same direction as you want to go to, because it's like hiring a new team member. You want to make sure that the team member is aligned with what your company is doing. In the same way, you want to make sure that the services that you use and that the software that you use, that they prioritize the same things in the roadmap for the future as what you want to get established and achieve in the future as well. So I think it's important to also kind of ask about, what are you planning for the future? What kind of things you have on the roadmap, and to make sure that you're aligned and that you get also best service in the future. I think that it's also important to kind of check that it's a company that it's easy to work with for you. And of course, especially when you want that, for example, AddSearch, it makes the implementation for you. You really want to make sure that everything goes smoothly and it's really nice to work with the team. You can never underestimate the human connection, and but then also, even if you make it on your own and you build everything on your own, which is completely fine, and we really encourage that with AddSearch as well, then sometimes you might need some help and you have questions. So you really want to make sure that you get answers from the support, that they are really knowledgeable answers, and you get them fast. So I think that's very, very important part as well.
Yeah, I think prospective clients listening, I think will get a lot of great reassurance and information out of that answer. And I think, generally speaking, like the customer service and the human element, I think prioritizing those two is a good start at the very least, or at least it's going to set you up for a good kind of rapport. So I want to pivot a little bit to kind of get a macro view of the industry now. I know we mentioned the use of AI constantly, the constantly changing search landscape, but I'm curious, how is the way people search and find information changing, and how do you address this as a search and discovery company?
Yeah. Well, as I said, the landscape is really changing, and we are seeing like a big change from, just using keywords to moving towards more conversation type of searching. And I think that it depends really on the nature of the website and the industry as well, because you really need to think about like how your users and your website users are searching and how they prefer to find content. For some people, using AI tools is very natural already. For many people, it's still not. So you have to figure out and not just implement AI just because everyone is doing it. And I think at the beginning, you also mentioned that everyone loves AI, but I think you also need to think about like, how does it make sense for your business to implement it? So I think it's a lot of change, but at the same time, we want to make sure that this change is kind of managed well for our customers, and that we don't want to bring something just because it's AI, but that it makes a lot of business sense. And I don't think that any of us really know how people will find content in 5 years' time. Like it feels like even in 1 year, a lot has changed. So I think that it's very exciting times that we are living in, and just like moving with the change and then following the behavior and the change in behavior of users is very important. So we're intending to do that and go with that change and then see like how the product also evolve with that. But I do believe that there will be a lot of more conversational elements in the search as well. And it's not only about like searching, but also bringing the content forward in better way, and just to kind of discovering the right kind of content in a more intuitive way on the websites overall.
Yeah, yeah. It's really tough to determine exactly where the industry is going the next 5 years. I mean, like you said, it's changing so fast. It's hard to even predict the next year, let alone maybe 6 months. Like, I just want to kind of again focus on some of the macro aspects of what you're looking out for. What are some of the emerging trends you're watching, and how will they impact customers? I guess, is there anything in particular that customers should prepare for? I know you did cover some of these already, but anything that really is like something they should keep an eye on?
Yeah, I think that the changes in the search landscape are in general something that should be watched out for, and like exactly like how I would really advise website owners to follow like how their users are interacting with the website, because I think that they might be really looking for different things, and not like the behavior is not the same for everyone. So it's one size doesn't fit all. I think that additionally to just searching and finding and then having the conversational elements, having actual AI assistants and that can help you out to accomplish certain tasks on the website or the service itself is like also the next step that can influence many businesses, and that can significantly improve their customer engagement and their conversions as well. I think that we often use the word chatbot, but like I think that chatbot has a little bit of like, chatbots are used for a very long time already. And I think that I prefer to think about like AI assistants or AI agents that help you to actually accomplish things and not just give you answers. And I think that this is something that is very exciting and that can really also, help companies to have a competitive advantage in many industries.
Yeah, that's so true. It's like the chatbots we have nowadays are nowhere near. Well, they're just completely different in leagues of their own from the chatbots we had, say 10 years ago. So that's a good point. Good. Yeah. I know AI agents are another kind of buzzword with vibe coding and this sort of AI revolution we're in. So those are all great points. I want to just give you one last opportunity, since we're coming down to the last, couple questions I have for you. Again, to just sort of list some of the ways you're staying relevant in such a competitive market. Maybe that involves rehashing some of the talking points you mentioned earlier. But I'm just curious, how does AddSearch just stay ahead through innovation, as well as offering exceptional customer support, which you mentioned earlier? How do you stay ahead, on innovation? Because that's just a really important aspect for customers.
Yeah, definitely, and really want to focus on the things that we think that move the needle and that make a big difference for our customers. So listening to our customers and understanding like how we can help their businesses as this is very crucial for us. We provide them also all the implementation supports because I think that this helps them to make sure that it's not just a tool that they implement on the website, but they are essentially integrating something as part of their customer experience. And that's very, very important. So I think that just being able to look ahead and being very sensitive about what is going on with search and how people are using search and how they prefer to find information is something that we find very important. Maybe another thing is, as we talked about, that human touch and interaction. We have a very technically and knowledgeable support team, which has helped us to give very fast and knowledgeable answers to our customers anytime. I think it's very important because I think many companies have different layers and also in support, and it might be sometimes very challenging to get answers to very specific questions when you bump into a certain challenge that you don't know how to fix. But we have got really good feedback that we're always there to support our customers in even very nitty-gritty technical details. So I think that's something that is very important for our customers as well.
Fantastic. Well, that leads me into my last question for you, Helena. For those interested in learning more about AddSearch, where can they go and how can they get in touch with your team?
Yeah, of course. AddSearch.com is the URL to go to, of course. Also on LinkedIn, we have AddSearch page where you can come and follow there. We post a lot of tips on how to improve search and a lot of industry news as well. So I think that's a great way to keep up with what's going on in search overall and with AddSearch as well.
Perfect. All right. AddSearch.com and get connected over on LinkedIn. Well, thank you for taking the time out of your day to sit down and talk with us about your company. Really appreciate it. All right, everyone. That is Helena Rabane, CEO of AddSearch. Thanks again for all your time. I think this is a really insightful episode.
Thank you both. It was very great to be here.
And thank you all for listening to the SourceForge podcast. I'm your host, Bo Hamilton. Make sure to subscribe to stay up to date with all of our upcoming B2B software related podcasts. I will talk to you in the next one.